Absolutely.
All right, it is Tuesday, September 15th. Welcome, everyone, to Living Room Sports Talk. We got Kieran McCauley, Zach Rothenberger. We got the great Sonny Conto, Sonny the Bronco contest. I got to get the whole boxing thing in here. Joining us in the living room, Sonny. Thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.
Oh, man, dude, we are so pumped to have you on. It's funny because I was saying to Zach, I feel like I'm not exactly knowledgeable, maybe the most knowledgeable person when it comes to boxing, but once I sat down, was looking at all this stuff and learned about just your whole backstory, blown away. Like, this is so excited to have you on tonight. This is gonna be one of our most exciting guests we've had on the show.
Oh, that's awesome. That's my pleasure, man. That's my pleasure.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we got the future of the heavyweight division right here, so we're very grateful.
For sure.
Say, the pride of South Philly, 24 years old, 6-0 with 5 knockouts. I'm like trying to get my inner, boxing, MC voice going.
I hear you.
Yeah, fighting, doing something like that. But all right, we'll start, some basic kind of questions with you, right? So,
Kieran Buffer.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. But let me ask you, so when did you, I guess, start your boxing career at a young age, right? You're 24 now, so when did you fall in love with the sport and kind of how did you get to this point in your career?
Yeah, so, I'm 24 years old. I've always been a physical kid growing up. My father always wanted to push me toward baseball because, let's be honest, that's where the money's at, So, it's guaranteed money. And, I was really good at baseball as well, but I never loved baseball like I love boxing, and like I said, I was always a physical kid growing up. In high school, I wrestled, you know what I mean? I never wrestled before in my life. I just walked onto the team, you know what I mean? So I've always liked that physical stuff, but I've been in and out of the boxing gym since 10 years old. And, baseball season always interfered with, boxing, amateur fights, and stuff like that. So after baseball, I kind of just focused on boxing fully, and here we are now.
Yeah, who was like the biggest motivator for you, or a role model, or kind of a boxer you looked up to as a kid?
Honestly, I would always watch the fights with my father, and I guess you would have to say Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he was undefeated, and there's a lot of now, even now I get motivated from a lot of these guys that even know that I'm on the scene as well, and I would say Tyson Fury is probably the biggest motivator for me because I shared the ring with him, so that was such a blessing, and it definitely motivated me, and I felt like it elevated my game, a few notches, and it was just a great experience.
So it's funny, I got to ask you that question then. So our buddy, our mutual friend Nick Class was what really put us all in touch together. That was great. And it's funny. So I'm watching Tyson Fury boxing, right? DeAndre Wilder in that fight. And Class says to me, he's like, yeah, so the guy, the boxer I watched back in the Leah Center, he spars with Tyson Fury. And I'm like, wait, what? It's like, wait, hold on. Like, Class, I thought this was just like one of your buddies from like college that's like in some like celebrity, like just and then I was like, whoa, time out. Like, so, I mean, paint a picture of what that's like. And I mean, and maybe I'll add a little bit of extra detail. If someone maybe doesn't know as much about boxing, just like how much of a big deal it is to be someone that can spar with Tyson Fury.
Yeah, man, it was honestly like I got the call one day. I was just sitting on my couch and they were like, hey, like Tyson wants you to go out to training camp, and I was like, wait, Tyson Fury? Like, you know what I mean? So it was like it was pretty much a shock for me as well. And even like that was like the first time. I don't really get starstruck with like celebrities and stuff because I meet so many. But when I woke up for breakfast and Tyson Fury sitting at the breakfast table and I'm about to sit down and eat my eggs with him, and I'm like, wait, what the hell? Like, it's crazy. So it really like starstruck me as well. And it was really it was crazy, great experience. I lived with him in a house for 2 weeks. So it was pretty awesome. You know what I mean? We were, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner together. You know, cruising around on the, you know, the casino floor in Vegas together. So it was
Oh my
pretty
God, that
awesome.
sounds like a dream.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, man. It was
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
yeah, that's great. And you mentioned earlier how you would watch the fights with your father. So what's that like having your father as your trainer too? I mean, it's a great bond and connection you have there, obviously.
Yeah, of course. You know, that's the man that he has my best interest. You know, he's never gonna let me get hurt. Uh, so you know, I mean, all of that, all of them things are, you know, very very important to me, and I know that, you know, he's gonna bring the best out of me. You know, he knows how to motivate me. He knows what it takes to motivate me. He knows what to say to motivate me. So you know, a lot of people say that, you know, a father son bond isn't really good, but I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I don't think anyone, you know, knows their son like, you know, their dad. So I mean, I think it's a great thing, and I think that with our teamwork, I think that we can, you know, accomplish great things.
And I found it interesting. You talked about how you played baseball growing up. This may sound like a cheesy question, but how much would you say you've taken just from those experiences of playing baseball, whether it be your footwork or something like of that nature? Is there anything, any parallels or anything you took, any strengths from baseball that you could kind of apply into boxing now?
Um, Honestly, like with baseball, I really didn't like baseball because I really only liked it if I was hitting or I was pitching. You know what I mean? I mean, let's
Yeah.
be honest, baseball is kind of boring. You know what I mean? So, I mean, being a pitcher, yeah, it's awesome. You know, you're in every play. When you're hitting, you know, you're in every play. Otherwise, I mean, I would play the outfield, and it's like, you know, I might not see a play all game. You know what I mean? I might be lucky if I see two. You know what I mean? So, you know, I mean, it was. I played it because, you know, my father more or less wanted me to, and like I said, I was good at it. I played in college. We made it to the junior college World Series. A lot of my friends are like, you know, they went to the league and stuff. So I mean, I was, you know, I was surrounded by a powerhouse, you know, team. Um, so yeah, I mean, baseball really didn't. I wasn't in love with it. You know what I mean? Like I was in love with boxing, and I believe that whatever you choose to do, you have to love. You know what I mean? It's like it's like when you go and you're having fun for your job, that's like what counts. You know what I mean? If that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if you're doing something that you don't love, you know what I mean? Like you don't. Yeah, it's just, you know,
It's so true.
Yeah, now
for
you have to have
sure.
some passion behind what you're doing, or else what's the point? So that's
Sure.
great to hear from a professional boxer like yourself that still carries, you know, from the little league days to the professional boxing ring. So that's
Absolutely.
inspiring and motivating for sure. So looking at some of your last three fights, you had Del Rio, Lyons, and Curtis Head. Um, you know, we'll talk to what the future holds in a little bit, but Jesus Christ, man! After looking at the highlights, I don't know who's going to want to step in the ring with you. Your quickness in the heavyweight division, like, just sets you apart from everyone, in my opinion. What's your biggest differentiator in your opinion with your training and just your overall skill set?
Yeah, for sure. You know, my speed and is definitely a big factor. You know, most of these guys aren't as quick as me, and you know, I can also punch in both hands. You know what I mean? So, and you know, I can box as well. I mean, I have one. I think maybe one of the best jabs in boxing, and that's just me being confident and not, you know, and you know, the jab. You know, a good right hand will take you around the block. A good jab will take you around the world. So, I mean, that says it, you know, within itself. You know, I think that, you know, them things are what set me apart, and also just my, you know, my hunger. You know, most of these guys, they you know, pressure makes diamonds, and you know, I like that. I like pressure. You know what I mean? I like performing, and I enjoy going out there and putting on a show where, some of these guys are, I do this and I have fun. You know what I mean? So I think that's also what sets me apart, how hard I work.
Absolutely. Well, it definitely shows, put it that way. Speaking of your left hand, I mean, your left hook to the body literally has chopped down your last three opponents. I mean, what's it like? I mean, you're an orthodox fighter, obviously, with you're right-handed. So how hard is that to get your left hand basically to be just as good as your right? I mean, maybe that's a novice question, but I have to know.
No, it's actually not. You're, it's usually awkward for an orthodox fighter to, let's just say switch southpaw or anything like that. But a fact that a lot of people don't know, I was actually born left-handed, and my mother switched me to being right-handed. So
really,
yeah. So a lot of people don't know that. So yeah.
Was that sports related, or was that because I'm left-handed? So I wish someone had told me to switch a long time ago.
So my grandmother used to tell my mother that it's a right-handed world. So she would just hand me everything with my right hand and just pound at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was born left-handed and I was switched over to right-handed. So I think maybe that has a factor of why I can punch in both hands. And honestly, I feel like my left hook is one of my favorite punches. So.
And it's funny because I was watching just the highlights. So we're joined right now by Sonny Conto, Sonny the Bronco Conto, here in the living room right now. And you're right. So I was watching the highlights before. I was just like, oh my God, this is so much fun just to watch. Like Zach was saying, the way you attacked your opponents. What kind of rush is that? When you're in the ring. I mean, it's right because I'm sure you get that question every interview. What's it like being in the ring? But paint a picture of just what, like you said, like just that adrenaline and the art of just going through with the footwork and the strategy when you're fighting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and even the hometown crowd, when I'm lucky enough to fight at home, that's also a boost. You know what I mean? You hear all of your people screaming, and it makes you want to dig down. It makes you want to get that stoppage. It makes you want to put on a clinic or a show and really look good doing it. So I mean, I believe that that's a big part as well. And now, with this COVID and all the no fans, it's pretty different. But honestly, it's business at the end of the day. So, no fans, still got to go out there and fight hard. And that's what I think separates, the champions and just the regular. I mean, maybe the regular guys that you still need to perform whether there's fans there or not. You know what I mean? So I think that's where you could find yourself and dig deep down and come out on top.
I love it. Now I got to ask, so it's cool. I was reading an article about a year ago and just they were highlighting some of just the awesome experiences you've been through in the last year or two with being on Fox 29 and Jen Frederick going into your gym and doing a little sparring thing there. And the coolest thing I thought, right, is throwing out the first pitch at a Phillies game. As a Philly guy, South Philly, the stadium's right down the street. What was that like to have a moment like that? That must have been incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, bro. I can literally walk to the stadiums. So, I grew up, walking to the Phillies games and just thinking that, like, I'm going to be out there throwing the first pitch off the mound is, like, crazy, So it was definitely motivating, too. I mean, I was only 23 at the time. And, to just that alone as an accomplishment at 23 years old was awesome. You know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And honestly, I mean, the Phillies bullpen, they should have just left you back there. I mean, quite frankly,
right?
See the way they were throwing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they left you walk away from the stadium that night.
Hey, listen, that first pitch was awful. But I mean, come on, I haven't done it in a little while, but you should let me warm up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think any Phillies fan would be able to say that they've seen a lot worse pitches thrown this year alone on the hill. So I think you're off the hot seat on that one.
Well, I mean, mine was pretty bad, but hey, 50 cents was worse.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right.
true.
Oh man. Well, I'll tell you. I know you want to, you want to get off, Zach. I'll tell you. You have any other questions? I have one or two more, but if you want to go, because I know Sonny's got.
Well, I had a burning off the wall question.
Go ahead.
For you,
Yeah.
Sonny. So I'm looking at your fighter profile on Top Rank site, and I see a Bronx Tale is your favorite movie, right? Phenomenal movie.
Yes.
Is it better to be?
Yes.
Is it better to be loved or feared?
Honestly, in today's world, bro, I think it's better to be feared.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Especially with all this crazy stuff going on. Yeah, I would probably say it's better to be feared in this world. But I am a lover, so
Absolutely.
I'm in the middle with that, I guess. But in today's world, I think it's better to be feared.
And speaking of love, though, one thing I know that's so important to you is your family and friends. And I know, it's easy for someone to look at your success and say, oh, that guy's got the life, right? But you've gone through some serious hardships of your own this past summer, losing friends. And we have our shirts on just from the proceeds and everything that you did.
Awesome,
oh
man.
yeah, absolutely.
Shout out to you guys for showing support.
Oh, of course.
One of my my little brothers, my best friend. I lost two of my friends, and it's been rough, but I know that they want me to be strong, and this next fight I'm dedicating to them, and winning a world title, I'm dedicating that to them. So but I really appreciate you guys showing your support, and that's awesome, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. And if there's anything else, we can do to help out with the show or anything, like I said, you got supporters for life, here on we're in your corner.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, Sonny, thank you so much for jumping on with us. And seriously, anytime you want to come back and join us, we had so much fun. I know you got to get going and stock up on some of those calories, after training all day.
For sure. Let's we can set something up, within the next couple of weeks, and then hopefully I'll have a fight date for you guys, and hopefully an opponent, and we could get on here and chop it up again. I love it. I thank you guys for having me on, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely, Sonny. Thanks so much.
All right, go get it, man. Thank you.